As you can see in the background, we're above the western wall, and you can see the Dome of the Rock in the background as well. Maybe a little more difficult to see, on the top of what is the western wall is part of the police station for the Israeli border police. Today I was able to meet with a small group with the chief of the border police in his office up there, and we had a guide who was translating for him. He speaks Hebrew and Arabic. He is a Christian Arab Israeli, and he's the first one non-Jew to be the chief of any police in Israel, or any position like that. He worked for 28 years as an officer and was promoted to this position. When he moved into his office, which is there, part of the Kotel, he decided to change the wall, one of the walls on his office. It was all filled with pictures of famous people from the government and the army. He painted the whole thing just plain white, and he closed the door, and him and his assistant cut a hole in the wall and exposed part of the western wall that extends from the part that's visible. And he got a carpenter to make a frame around it and installed a little light. And there is his own private kotel in his office. Well, he didn't bother getting any permission to do that because he figured he wouldn't get permission to do it. But after it was done, there was nothing they could do about it. It's the only place, of course, that has such an artifact in it and a great symbol to his allegiance to the state of Israel and his position. He can speak some English, but he's not confident enough with it. And we had a translator that was part of the group, but he had a translator for the past 2 years of his position, a woman named Rose Lubin. And you may have heard of her because she lost her life at one of the gates here, and her service as border police. She was stabbed to death. And but before that, she acted as his translator whenever he had to give an interview with the television or an official statement to the news or to the government. And she was like his right-hand person. And not only was she the translator, but she was like a confidant, and she knew that he always got nervous before he spoke to a group. He was nervous that he would say the wrong word, or he was always nervous of people who were his translators misusing a word that could cause a lot of damage if it got out into the press. And he trusted Rose, and she would always say to him, she would say, "I got you," before they would go and give the interview, and it would reassure him. And since she passed away, he has been saying that statement to himself because he doesn't have her to say it for him every time he has to give an interview. He said she was really like a daughter to him, and he felt that loss really deeply when she went. So here in Israel, we all try to help each other, and in times of stress and duress like this, you can see that people really pull together for one another. And you also see Americans coming to Israel for that same purpose, for the sense of trying to pull together and do any kinds of volunteer work or anything they can do. Just their presence here makes really all the rest of the Israelis feel like they have support. So I'm Israel Chai. We say we should all support the ever living existence of Israel by pulling together always in unity. I'm Israel Chai.